Film Rage presents Verbal Masturbation with Bryce and Jim. All right, this week's guests, Mallory Everton, Whitney and Stephen Meek, the collective force behind the film recovery.
Well, thank you, fine sir. And we could not be more blessed to have these three fabulous people with us. And we're going to start off with a game just to put everybody at rest. It's kind of like Fuck, Marry, Kill,
Okay.
but nothing like it.
Okay.
This is called Or.
Okay.
And you don't have to have a reason why. You don't have to make any explanations, but you can if you want to. I'm going to give you something or something else, and you guys have to decide the one or the other.
Okay.
That's the name. Or.
It's so complicated, Jim.
It is, and it requires a lot of explanation
It
because
really
people
doesn't.
get
You didn't even have to say anything. You could have
People
just went into it.
will
They would have
be
figured it out.
stumped. They will be stumped. Okay, number one, Dolly Parton or Gloria Estefan.
Dolly Parton.
Dolly Parton.
Dolly Parton?
Yeah.
That's a
Bryce?
no-brainer. Dolly Parton.
I would also say Dolly Parton. She wins hands down. Andy Garcia or Al Pacino.
Al Pacino.
I
say
would
Garcia.
say Andy, yeah.
Bryce?
I take a flamethrower to this place. Of course it's Al Pacino.
Okay. Yeah, I'll pick early Al Pacino.
Okay.
That's what
Okay.
I was thinking of.
Yeah. Rocky or Bullwinkle.
Bullwinkle.
Bullwinkle, yeah. That's the moose, yeah.
It
Right.
is.
Contrarian, I guess.
Apparently squirrels are smart. I don't know. Bryce, what are you? Are you a Rocky fan?
During the pandemic, I've probably watched about half of those episodes, and there's about 1,000 of them. And Rocky's kind of a dick. Totally Bullwinkle.
Well, I'll go with dicks because I can be that sometimes. I'm gonna pick Rocky just for fun.
Mm.
Gotta have the arch nemesis, right? That's the thing.
They're a team. What are you talking about? It's not an arch nemesis.
Arch nemesis of evil.
What is wrong with you?
Of Rocky and Bullwinkle, aren't there like the two Russian?
No, they have Natasha.
That's Boris and Natasha. That's the
Yeah,
arch
Boris.
nemesis. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, great.
Yep.
You're on the right track.
I'll pick Natasha. Great.
But that wasn't an option. But I love it. I love where it's going. Okay, so Jim Carrey or Ryan Reynolds?
Ryan Reynolds.
Ryan Reynolds.
I mean,
From
It's
Just
not-
Friends forward, I've just loved him.
it's nothing against Jim because I love him.
Oh no, Just Friends forward. If you said the movie after Just Friends, I could understand.
That's
I love Just
that's
Friends
his
for Christmas.
favorite movie.
It's a great Christmas film.
Is it?
Of the year.
I'm going Jim Carrey.
Mm.
Yeah,
You know
yeah.
what? I think I'm going Jim Carrey too for his dramatic roles.
Yeah.
Eternal
Truman
Sunshine.
Show.
Truman Show.
Watch it
Yeah.
Mm.
There we go.
Very
See
good.
that?
Yep.
That's literally the toughest question probably so far because these are going to be so easy. We got Arnie or Sly.
Oh,
Sly.
my.
I'll say Arnie then, to be contrarian again.
Oh, I'm all about Sly.
Yeah.
I'm all about Arnie always, and I'm always be back. Two of my favorites. This is going to be impossible for me to decide, but maybe it'll be easier for you. Lily Tomlin or Carol Burnett?
Carol Burnett.
Carol Burnett. But Lily Tomlin, gosh, that's
I pick Lily. I love her. I love her.
It is an unfair question.
It is unfair.
that's not fair. I grew up with Carol Burnett, so I can't turn on my homegirl like that.
She's literally written a screenplay about kidnapping Carol Burnett and
Oh,
trying to
nice.
stick with her.
It's like Misery, but cute and fun.
Excellent.
It might
Aw.
be the next film that gets made. Who knows? But,
Who knows? But
like,
yeah.
Carol is.
I sure
have
hope
to
so.
like Carol.
I'm on board.
Well-
Carol Burnett.
Carol Burnett, yeah, because you know what? I like pulling my ears and other things. Okay, It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia or Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Always Sunny. Always
I
Sunny.
have to go with Always Sunny.
Yeah,
I haven't
Always
watched enough
Sunny.
of Curb to even know.
Curb.
I'm going Sunny as well.
Oh.
Okay, Paris or Berlin?
Oh, I wish I was cool enough to say Berlin, but I'm gonna say Paris.
I know. That's what I was thinking. I was like,
I
Your
don't know.
romantic heart.
I've never been.
I just
I've-
love the food. It's just
Ah.
so much butter. It's so good.
Yes, you could almost get it as a side dish, I think.
Yeah.
Bryce?
Meh. Oh,
You could take or leave
yeah,
either.
whatever.
Well, give him Berlin then.
Yeah. He's the cool one.
Okay, soy milk or real milk?
Real milk. Always.
I mean, taste-wise and health-wise, I would say real milk. I can't have milk anymore, so I'm gonna add an extra or and do pea milk because that's my
Oh.
Pea milk.
Nice.
yes.
I don't think I've ever had pea milk. I would say real milk too. If those are my
Bryce?
Yeah.
Yeah, no baby cow formula for me. I'll go with the soy milk.
choices. Mhm.
Bryce is our resident vegan, so
Ah.
Yeah.
and he's lost like 300 pounds.
I
something
have
like that,
not.
So it's 350, isn't it?
100,
Lost, like-
160.
Oh yeah.
He weighs like 5 pounds now, and he used to weigh like 500. I was thought
365. I was a
the
wee chap.
last question: handy or handsy?
Handsy. You have no use for handsy. Like,
I think it's interesting.
Just for, I guess.
is it for other people or for me?
It can do whatever. It's just
you can-
or wit.
That's right. Use your
or.
imagination.
Or gall, this is complicated. You should have explained more rules.
That's what we needed.
Exactly. Well, I always choose handsy because that's I people always mistake me for Italian if I didn't have this Canadian accent.
Handy.
Okay, so thank you. I hope that got everybody loosened up and brushed off the cobwebs from not being outside. So we hear through the grapevine that this fabulous film, I should say, that you produced was at South by Southwest as its first drop.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about that. So obviously, I don't think you could go there, right?
No,
No.
no, it was all online.
It was digital.
Mm-hmm.
We had
So-
some fun Zoom calls with a lot of people,
Mm-hmm.
and that was basically it.
That was it. So it was like a 5-minute. Hey, we're talking, but it must have created a lot of buzz for you, didn't it?
Well, you know what's so interesting about it in general? I feel that we've never taken a film to a festival before. Recovery was the first feature we'd ever made, and it was, it took place during the pandemic, and then we got into a festival while the pandemic was still happening, and then to watch it, we watched all of these films along with our film, like in our beds, like we watched everything else all year. So
Oh, wow.
we definitely did make some nice connections and we networked a bit, but I'd be lying if I said that it wasn't just kind of surreal, and I still wonder if it did anything.
Kind of like some people saw it. Well, it's getting good buzz, right?
I think so. There's like a little ticker underneath it, and like, when we were watching it, we could tell some people had viewed it. But yeah, we had a lot of nice feedback, and then some nice DMs and stuff that came in around the time, and it was so much more than we could have imagined when we just made this film to stay sane. So it was a really, really fun experience, but probably atypical to the normal festival experience.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Well, then it went from there all the way to Canada.
Mm-hmm.
Is that the next stop on the trip?
Yeah,
Yeah.
So
international premiere.
And in a drive-in, no less.
Right?
I know. I wish I could have been there.
It's
Yeah.
It was literally the best experience. I'm sorry that you couldn't make it, because it was like we've obviously been in pandemic for 2 years, and Bryce and I are I don't even know how you want to describe it, but we're both very into festivals, and Cuff is our favorite festival. Because we live in Calgary, so we don't have to escape it.
The Calgary
And
Underground Film Festival.
Yeah. So we've been like, this pandemic thing has really messed up film festivals for us too, because everything is streaming, and for us to be able to see films in drive-in was such a treat. And your film just killed it. The whole crowd loved it. Like they were honking for like probably 10 minutes after the film, right?
my
It
Oh,
was
stop it.
yeah. So
We-
there's going to
we
be
still- Yeah, we've still only seen it on little computer screens and stuff. We haven't seen it with a crowd.
It's so nice to hear. You should just keep telling us about
We'll,
play-by-play.
we'll keep telling. I'll tell anybody who'll listen. And
My
I've
my
said this,
girlfriend was literally howling at certain points. So
yeah.
Oh,
Well, I said this on our podcast when we reviewed the film, but this was literally the best comedy I've seen in 5 years. So
5 years.
Yeah.
What is it? Have
That's
you not
saying
watched any comedies?
I have seen some. Bryce makes me watch some, and I've never laughed as hard as I did at that one. So kudos to you both.
Yeah.
Kudos to you both. Both, all three. What am I talking about? Okay, it's like 2 writers and then 2 directors. You guys should have all did everything all at once.
Both.
That would have been.
Goes for anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So is it going anywhere from us? Like, have you had any other screenings or?
We are this coming weekend. We're playing at Desertscape.
Next weekend.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay, the 26th. Yeah. So
Yeah.
that will be
Hey.
the first experience we have live.
Mhm.
Oh,
seeing
yeah.
crowd, So we're very excited about that.
Nice.
So you'll get to go to the theater and see it. This is awesome.
Yeah.
We're excited and nervous. You know, when you've made something, to hear people react and not react, it's anxiety inducing, but it's also very thrilling. So
Yeah. Wow.
it just-
Rest assured, you're okay, because at the drive-in, I mean, we're all in our own little cars, and I could hear the laughter from around the whole place. So you're good.
Yeah, you guys don't need to, this, when it gets released full throttle, you guys are just gonna kill it. And we got to see it second.
Nice.
Wow.
Truly.
wouldn't have it in you. I wish we could have given it to you first. I wish we could have given it to you.
So I hear you were actually picked up for U.S. distribution. Is that a thing?
Yeah.
It is. Yeah. We
Congrats.
yeah, just announced today we got acquired by Decal,
Nice.
and so they will be hopefully putting it out in select theaters this fall, and then going to some SVOD platform hopefully after that.
Yeah.
So we'll see, but we love them. They have been such a cool team to work with. Them and BuzzFeed Studios is our executive producing team now, and then Sorrow Films. All 3 of them have just been working pretty tirelessly to make it reach people. And
Yeah.
so I
And XYZ.
and XYZ, our sales team. But yeah, everyone's been kind of putting it into full gear to get it ready for this fall.
Nice.
So, okay, here's a question. Can any of you speak another language? Are you going to get to do your own voiceovers?
Oh,
Steven, so you can,
Steven
I can
could.
speak Korean, but like not well enough, I think, to do.
the
Yes,
lines that you
but-
had from the movie.
You only have
So you
that
got to
one-
take a few takes.
Yeah, so a few takes. Yeah, I'll have to get a professional translator, and then I can do it. But
Yes.
yeah.
So, okay, that's,
I'm
go.
sorry.
Sorry, go ahead. No, go.
Say, what's soap wine in Korean? Do you know that?
I couldn't even
Soap.
remember.
I kind of want.
Time.
I kind of want to try soap wine now. I really do. Is that actually a thing?
No. I
I
don't
don't put in that bottle.
Anything's a thing.
I don't remember what we put in that bottle.
It was juice.
Okay.
Yeah, it was some Martinelli's.
Oh my god, that's good.
All right. So on to, the questions that have to be asked that everybody else has probably already asked you. But first feature film, how did this come about and why make your first attempt during a pandemic? Go. I'm sure you've got a stock answer for this.
Ooh.
We'll
You
try
know
to
how
make
it
it
goes.
as freshly told as we can.
All right.
This is a fresh take. I mean, Mallory and I, we grew up together, so we've known each other. You can see in the end credits, we've been making stuff since we were in like 98 was when we first started making stuff together.
Yeah.
And so we kind of have been making things all growing up. Steven joined our comedy troupe in 2011. So we'd kind of been wanting to make a feature for a while, and Mal and I were writing scripts and sending them back and forth for features and for different kinds of television shows that we were hoping could get off the ground someday. We had plans going on, and then the pandemic hit, and we kind of, I think, went through the same stuff that everyone else went through, where it was like, my life is over and the world is just not going to ever come back again, and why try at anything? We both got into some things. I got into pottery. Mal got into,
for like a week.
Well, for like I threw like 60 things.
60.
Nice.
Mal got into puzzles in a big way. We were coping.
Really lost my mind. Like, I was tracking my bowel movements at one point.
Nice.
Going a little aviator mad, for sure.
Nice. Is that online anywhere? Sometimes I've got things to do at 2 a.m.
Yeah.
To some degree, who doesn't track their bowel movements? I mean, really.
Right. I mean,
2020.
you know what's happening.
I think most people have a poop window. It's
Unless you're going out and eating like crazy Mexican followed by crazy Thai the next day, then it's like all hell breaks loose. I don't know.
You gotta keep on top of that stuff.
Yeah, it's true. Well, yeah. So we were just kind of. I was definitely going crazy. I was here in LA in my apartment, and I felt it was especially claustrophobic, and so I went to go and live with my sister and her family for a little while in Utah, where
Nice.
I live, and so I could be around some more people and have a little bit more community built into the unit, you know.
Yeah.
And Whit and I just got talking about, is there anything we can do to make this period of time not just feel like once it's over, we just wish we could erase it, like just nothing. We didn't do any, that's a feeling I've had the whole time, right? Like, it just feels like it's going to be like a year that we forget about because we didn't learn anything or meet anyone. You know, it's such an oppressive feeling. I think we've all been dealing with it in our own ways. And so many people have accomplished so much regardless. But for us, it was like, how can we just learn? We've never ever finished a movie before. We've never made a feature before. Is there something that we could do safely now? You know, because now or never, as far as making a passion project like that. We've always, you know, we've written a lot of comedy. We've done a lot of ads and web series and stuff, always for a client. And like always someone was asking us to do something. This is the first time we ever just wrote something because we wanted to write it. So,
and funding had always gotten in the way at some point. I mean, that's like every first features problem, right? It's like, okay, now who's gonna fund this? I promise I'm gonna do a good job
for it.
You just gotta see what I could do.
Yeah.
And so we were like, well, I mean, no one's gonna pay for us right now. The economy's crap. Like, let's just do it ourselves. So we literally just like pooled our money together and got a couple friends who were really nice. And Steven's parents.
My parents donated a bit of money.
Yeah, just to be like, hey, could we do like anything with this much resources? And we like got our producer friend Babetta Kelly involved, and she looked over like our budget and everything. She was like, I think we could do this. And we were like, okay. Like that was like our goal. We were like, we're gonna try this. Well, and Mal too, you had been looking online while we were writing the script.
Yeah. Well, basically, when was it? It was end of June.
End of June,
we came up with this rescue idea. We initially were just going to do some kind of sister road trip thing. Initially, it was like we had a body in the back seat or something. It was like a crime thing. But we once the rescue thing happened, it just kind of clicked, and an outline kind of came out really naturally. And so we took that as a sign that we should keep working on it, that at the very least it was like fueling us creatively. So we should keep going. And I think we got about 3 days into writing the actual script we were just meeting over Zoom for a couple hours a day to hash out our outline we'd already made. And I told Whit I'd looked up the Sundance deadlines, and I was like, it's the beginning of July, and if we got this movie done by October, we could
October
submit
2nd.
it to Sundance. Is the first of a long line of festivals that have submissions then. And we went back and forth about it, sort of like, are festivals even going to happen? Like, are they going to cancel it? Is it even going to be worth it for us to hustle to try and hit that? But I don't know. I don't even really remember the moment. We just kind of said, yeah, let's
And
go.
we knew no one was probably going to care about a COVID movie in a 2022 film festival.
Right.
So, like, if we're going to make this, then like we might as well ride the wave.
Yep.
Maybe it'll be oversaturated, but like it'll be so early on that maybe people won't know it yet.
Maybe we'll be
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and it is kind of the perfect timing. Like, this movie is now perfect because people are so done with it, right? Like, it really is so perfect because now you can laugh at it. And I think that's what makes it even more funny, is because, like, if this movie came out at the beginning of the pandemic, some of the bits would not have hit, I think, right? But because of where it's now at, like, every bit hit, because it's kind of like, oh yeah, I know someone like that, or I know someone like your sister, and people know that, like, the whole thing about going on a cruise ship, just beyond epic, right? So okay, but okay, obviously maybe you don't want to talk about how much the budget was, but I mean, I think it's helpful that it was mostly you two, right? Like, it was
That
helped.
first. Yeah, when we were in pre-production, so it took us 2 weeks to write it, and then 2 weeks of pre-production and editing the script, and then 2 weeks of filming, and then Mal and Steven worked together to get a first cut in 2 weeks. So it was like, I mean, it's a timeline I would never recommend. Like, I would never do it again. But it was helpful for us because as we just got it going, we said, okay, we have this budget for this amount of people on this crew, plus we're going to keep it safe for COVID standards anyway. And because we were already in motion, that's when Sorrow Films stepped in. We were about halfway through production, and they are really interested in helping first-time filmmakers, female-driven stories, things like that. So they were super interested, and we were like, well, it's being made whether or not you give us money. So you can, and it would be awesome, but we're gonna make it either way. And I think that was kind of what drew them in, was just that the ball was already rolling. So halfway through production, they stepped in and gave us enough money to let us breathe and say, okay, we can pay our crew actual rates, we can like have a post-production budget. There were things afterwards that I don't think we would have been able to make this movie what it is without that.
Yeah.
It's still like not a, it's not a blockbuster budget or anything like that. It's a very modest indie budget, but we wrote it that way too. Like, we're like, if we can make this well, then like that's all we care about, is just like two people most of the time in a car, which we thought was a good idea at first.
We thought that was a simple premise.
We thought that
filming
clarify.
in a car was going to be a really, really easy thing to do.
Yeah.
And then as we started it, we were a little bit like, yeah.
It's hard. This is.
But at the same time, because we were filming in the middle of a pandemic, like the studio or the rental company that had the process trailer, no one else was using it at the time. So we were like, hey, can we can pay you the full price, but we can pay something. They're like, okay, like they were so nice to us. But I think also like our director of photography, like a lot of our crew who we had always wanted to work on a project like this with, was freed up because they were like, yeah, all my gigs are getting canceled right now. We're like, well, we got a tiny one you can hop on.
So what was the shooting from when to when? How long was the total shooting?
It was July 27th
to like August 8th or something, right?
August 11th, something like that.
And we had like 11 days, 11-day
shooting.
Yeah.
Yep. 11 days plus a couple pickup days for B-roll.
Yeah, for road trip footage. And it's funny, the very first cut of the film had just like filler content for a bit for all the transitions, and Mallory literally like lifted shots from Tommy Boy That was
I
like,
just
here's the card, right to left. It's in the movie. So
All
people,
of our friends that we screened it for, they were like, "Why did the car change?"
they were like,
is that a
"This is
joke? I don't think
intentional."
it's a joke.
Yeah, they were very confused by it, but it was for me, just for rhythm. Like, we need a shot like this, kind of.
Yeah, it was
And
like weeks after
there it
that,
was.
we went around Utah and just picked up all that stuff.
Mhm. Yeah.
That's awesome. Did you? So, like, the chemistry between you two, like you said, you guys grew up together. But I mean, you guys could have been sisters. Like, you really could have. You could have. You really felt that in the show, especially the first opening scene where it's at the party for the 30th birthday. It was just like, that's exactly how you talk with your bestie or your sister that's your sister. You know what I mean? Was a lot of that, was it ad lib, some of it, or did you guys stick to script?
It was ad-libbed at one point. That's pretty much how we breezed through the writing process so quickly. Was we basically were very conversational. I was a transcriptionist for a job during college, and so I'm like pretty like I can take some stuff down pretty quickly. So
Very
it kept
fast.
our rhythm able to stay pretty natural. I think because we knew how few filming days we had, we knew that we had to keep it pretty tight. So we thought like we don't have a ton of time to be able to just like improvise things into life. I don't trust myself that much, but we had enough time, I think, in the writing process to play with things and make it sound just like our voices. Which luckily we're both super familiar with each other's voices as well as our own. And we thought if we're gonna make a movie as close to our natural voices as possible, we'll be able to do it so much quicker and know that the quality isn't suffering, hopefully.
Yeah, that's a big thing, right? Especially if you're trying to do a different accent or you're trying to put out a different emotion than yourselves. It's so much easier to play yourself, at least for your first feature. For your next feature, you can be whoever you
All
want.
Cockney all the time.
Yeah.
All Cockney. That's my motto.
And Steven's gonna play the Korean something, whatever that is. Just so you know, Bryce's. I'm speaking for Bryce, and he'll correct me if I'm wrong because it's a habit we have. But Korean films are our favorite films, actually.
Oh yeah.
Pretty fantastic. Like,
So if you go to Seoul or Busan and make a film, we'll go for the opening over there for you. We would absolutely do it.
We really would love that, and we will email you if that
Oh yeah. We're going to Korea, Bryce.
Excellent.
love to bring a film to a Korean film festival. That would be incredible.
Yeah. So, but okay. So, have you been pushing to get into other festivals, or have you applied for a million? Or,
I mean, we applied to a ton, and when South by said yes, I mean, we never thought that would happen, and so.
And we literally got like 5 or 6, like just no.
Yeah.
Rejected.
We were gonna be super excited to be in any festival, like literally anything that could teach us about the process. So in South by, it was like the first yes, and it came pretty early on. It was like January 5th that we'd gotten our notification from them. It was, I think, just sort of like it kind of, I think, spun us all a little bit out of this world a little bit, and so I think after that we got a sales team out of that announcement, and we got and then during the festival we got BuzzFeed, but everyone that we were working with basically in our sales team was like, "Okay, you got South by, like don't do any more festivals. Like now we just want to go for distribution." Like
Whoa.
If we get into some like festivals that are worth it for us, then yeah, like we'd totally love to do it. But as far as like breaking our backs to apply to a ton of them, like they're like, don't worry about it. You've gotten the press coverage that you need to hopefully get the people that we need.
And that may be largely, I mean, as you know, this is our first experience with this, so we're just learning a lot right now, but it could largely be because so many of them are digital that they're just not seen quite as our team at least doesn't seem to think they're quite as valuable as they would normally be. As
interesting.
Which is it's a bummer. The number of times that I've been like, oh shucks, it's so sad we can't be out there just like prancing this film around.
Snoozing and prancing.
Yeah, but I can't help it. I
Piracy
just
is another concern too, just because like.
Oh yeah, because with the digital festivals.
Yeah, there were just a few things that you wouldn't even necessarily consider when you're just going to in-person festivals, that this year kind of threw a wrench into some things.
So we may have to consider another film down the line as like our true festival experience. 'Cause
Yeah.
this
One that you can go to every single little tiny one, like you get into the Idaho Film Festival in Idaho. Well, Idaho's not far from where you're at.
In person, that would be like a dream come true. It'd be more
road trip. Road trip.
We
And then
genuinely
you'd have
tried to road trip up to Calgary for
Well, if it has, it's going to be hopefully released in major up here too, right? So we'll go watch it again in theaters. We love giving money away. We'll push it again. Mommy duties. Mommy
Yes.
duties.
to berate the children. I'm literally watching her on like the monitor camera, and she's like picking up the children, like putting them in the beds.
You see, mommy's trying to have a life.
It's violent.
Oh, you can see it.
Nice. That's awesome.
Awesome. Kiss.
All right. So you finish your first feature film. Looking back, what are you most proud of?
Oh,
I think finishing our first feature film.
Nice. That's what I was hoping you were gonna say. Next question.
What? No. Come on, there's got to be something like, because you had to do everything. Like, I was reading the credits on this, and you're like, oh, okay, you did editing, you did directing, you did writing, you did music. Like, there's a music credit in there. Do you guys actually wrote some music too, or what's?
It was your brother.
My brother wrote some music that's used in it, so that might have been in there.
And then maybe lyrics. Did you say something in it? I don't know. I think you guys got a music credit.
I guess Whitney improvised some songs.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel very proud. I think mostly of, I'm just so I don't, is it proud or is it just gratitude? I just feel so grateful that we were on the same page in the same place at the same time, that the three of us and our really talented friends were all game in the same moment for something I don't see ever repeating in my life ever again. Just a moment filled with that much. Like, it was just so vacuous, during that time. And to have been able to give momentum and purpose to our lives for a little while, I'm just so grateful that I know these people and that I was able to work with them.
And I have a feeling it's not going to be the last time, which brings me to JK Studios.
Yeah.
So tell us more about this. So you started a studios.
A studios.
Yeah, that's a great way of putting it, actually.
And what exactly are you doing with this?
JK Studios is kind of the name. Don't think about the name too much. We were just fresh off of Studio C, the 10 of us that had started that show. It was a sketch comedy show on BYU TV. The 10 of us were just ready to start new projects, so we left en masse. We formed JK Studios together, and the dream really was just to be like, we're gonna do tours, we're going to make features, we're going to make web series, we're going to do all sorts of different things. And yeah, we just were ready and raring to like have control over the entire process, all of the creative process, and have just more of like an unfiltered us out there. And so JK Studios was started. We've done quite a number of projects together, and we're still doing projects together. We just wrapped a 6-week shoot just a few weeks ago. It felt like the longest
100 weeks.
So enough time to make 3 movies? Is that what?
We shot 220 pages actually.
Wow.
It's a sitcom that we created over at JK Studios, and we were able to crowdfund a second season.
Oh,
we
wow.
we crowdfunded that season the day before we found out we got into South by, so it was kind of a crazy week, and
Nice.
we've been really busy working on both, like trying to do the best we can with recovery and help it and support it however we can, and then also writing and shooting this show, which we're editing now. But
Wow. And so when does that come out?
I think it's the same kind of timeline.
October, probably.
September, October-ish, somewhere in the fall.
Yeah.
So it sounds like it's never ending now. And is it easier for you to live in LA and for Whitney and Steven for you to live in Utah? Like, is it easy for you to work together on a distance? I mean,
Yeah, a lot of the other JK Studios members are close by here in Utah. So yeah, we're able to write and film things together pretty frequently. And Mallory, yeah, she flies in all the time to hang out with us. Like, this is basically her second home, I guess.
Yeah, I just stay with my sister in her guest room that her kids call Aunt Mal's room, and
that's awesome.
I love that I have a nice, warm family to stay with when I go and work there, because I basically at this point I'm bi-coastal in the lamest way possible, just like between LA and Utah.
I love it. Bi-coastal, all the way to Utah.
Yep. Just
now, is it Salt Lake, or because I've been to Utah a couple times? Is it in Salt Lake? Nice.
We're in the Provo area, so that's a little bit south of Salt Lake.
Yeah, nice.
Sundance all the time. Yeah.
It's a great little city. It's so cute. That's what I would say. And I live, like, people think, oh, you live in Canada. You have what, 10 people in your city? I guess.
You live in Calgary.
Yes, we have too damn many people in our city.
Yeah. Well, you can never have too many people.
Oh,
come on.
You can.
Oh, yes.
As I'm riding my bicycle to work and they're whizzing by my ear, there's too many of them.
It's true. Too many that are in cars, I guess.
I haven't been hit by a car in like 2 years, so we're good.
And now he's wearing a helmet finally.
And I've only been hit by one bus, so
that's
goodness.
What?
It nudged me. I flew off. I skidded across. Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh! Did your shoes come off?
No such luck. I got a little road rash, and that was that.
Did your pants fall off?
No.
That happens to you a lot.
Yeah, well, whatever.
What about, like, your skeleton? I don't know how to say this. Did you break anything?
Yeah, I bounce. I've gotten really good at falling off my bike. Like, there's no one that can do it better than me.
You're a stunt man at this point.
Yeah, so if you need stunts in your next film, Bryce will roll down. He'll fall off bikes, get hit by buses, you name it.
I've got this theory that I can probably jump off anything as long as I dive roll. I think I'll be okay. I've never put it into effect. I've never tried it, but I'm pretty sure.
That's very fast thinking. I mean, that is literally what stunt people do. I'm riding a bus hit in my next.
There you go.
Please make the character's name Bryce.
I know the perfect guy.
There you go. So let's talk comedic influences. Who makes you laugh?
Oh,
goodness.
Well, we already talked about Carol.
We did.
Carol was a big one for me. That was kind of what my mom and I bonded over growing up. So, yeah, that's a foundational one.
Yeah, I feel like we'd be remiss if we weren't talking about all of the SNL women from our childhoods, like Molly Shannon and Sherry O'Terry and Tina Fey and Amy Poehler, and then eventually Kristen Wiig. Andy Samberg was hugely influential to me, as was Adam Sandler, and like everything that came out of SNL. We saw it all and watched a lot of it together. And
what? No Mad TV?
We did a little bit.
Oh, hot dog.
I mean,
Mo Collins? Gosh. No, yeah.
Stewart. I remember Stewart.
Yeah. Stewart.
Sure. Yeah, there was some pretty talented ladies in SNL, right?
There
Oh,
really
yeah.
were, and they it was not an easy time for women. They just paved so much road for
Yeah.
tons and tons of women in the industry. So super grateful for that. And then I fell in love with the Cornetto trilogy and Edgar Wright, Simon Pegg and Nick Frost when as a teenager, and the love is still so strong. I'm just still very obsessed.
Mhm. I think contemporary too, like, gosh, there's so many women doing cool things, and just people in general doing cool things, I guess. But like Phoebe Waller-Bridge is just like, I think lighting up everyone right now, and just the kind of like content that we're able to get from like her and Olivia Wilde and women who are just stepping up and saying, like, even like Reese Witherspoon and Nicole Kidman teaming up for Big Little Lies. I think a lot of this was really influencing our just like roaring excitement for like, oh gosh, like people actually want to hear about like what happens to me. Like they don't want to just put me in like a man's story and then it's fun. But like, so that I think was, as at least definitely for recovery, it was hugely influential. As we were like, okay, I think we're pretty certain now that even if we just make a movie about a lot of things that these two girls go through, that hopefully it'll entice more than just like one type of person. And we've had a super positive feedback from a lot of people, which is awesome. I think it's telling us that consuming is going in a good direction.
Yeah. Well, and you think about, I don't know too many buddy road movies that have two women leads, right? I mean, Thelma and Louise is the one everybody thinks about, but they were a little serial killery kind of, right? So
right,
where you are both more fun and funny, it's a little different.
It's so interesting.
But yeah, I can't even think of one.
It's one of those things where even when we were writing it and we were talking or we were shooting it, we're talking about it like, are people going to watch this? Like Thelma and Louise already exists, which is crazy when you think about it. It's like, wait a second, we've already seen one road trip movie with two women in it, so we shouldn't make any others. Even though
we don't need another one.
That ship has sailed.
That's right. Nobody wants another.
But that's how so many conversations go. You know, there are log lines that sound identical to all these different films. I think that it's just really important for creators to just go ahead and tell their story their way.
Yeah.
It will be very, very different. Even if Whitney and I had been escaping the law, our movie would have looked nothing like Thelma and Louise because we are nothing like Ridley Scott. We just wouldn't have made the same film.
It would have been a comedy because that's what you do. You do comedy and you do it well. Although, you know, they say people who can do comedy well can also do horror well.
I love you said that.
So badly.
Right?
Love. I'm doing a horror short this weekend, actually. I'm getting into it. I'm so excited.
Send it to us. We'll look at it.
They're cousins, you know, horror and comedy. They are. It's all about suspense and surprise in both directions. So, I hope to make many comedies.
The best movies. This is me personally saying this. Again, I'm not speaking for Bryce this time. For a change, I guess.
You never do.
It's true. I'm never right when I do it. But comedy horrors, I think, are the absolute best genre.
I want to kiss you on the mouth. I completely agree.
Yeah, right?
Mel's leaning into handsy now.
See?
I'm sorry.
Handsy's not so bad.
I meant it in like a sweet.
I know. but you do know I do like handsy. So, okay, I have a couple of really important questions I need to ask Stephen because, you know, he's been so well behaved. So, the first question, which has been on my mind for a long time, was, Stephen, did you have to do the toilet dick pic? That's part A. And part B, does this pic actually exist? I'm just asking for a friend.
This picture does not exist.
I mean, I'm sure somewhere there are plenty of them that exist.
Yeah.
But Steven didn't have to model for it.
I didn't have to model it.
What was
No.
that one that was going
Maybe
around,
couldn't
that
handle it.
blurry dick pic? Was it what was that one celebrity's dick pic that was
Chris
Oh.
Evans.
Chris
It was
Evans.
Chris Evans. You can't, you
We
guys
use
can't
it.
find it anywhere.
Is
Like
it gone now?
Evans people, they're good.
They
They
only
scrub the web.
Read it.
Oh my gosh.
He's
But
part
I
of the
thought-
Illuminati, I think, maybe. Or maybe it's the penisati. I don't know. One of those two things. But the other one that's most important question is because when you Google your names, obviously there's a few things that come up. There's your studio, there is your life in C, as you
Mhm.
call it, I guess.
I can see.
And then when you search Steven's name, the first thing comes up is perhaps a great grandfather
Yeah.
who happened to be the most famous trapper and guide. Is
Yeah.
that your great
I haven't-
something?
I haven't been able to figure out if we're actually related or not.
So you know of him.
I know of him for sure. Yeah, there's that film about him, Meek's Cut Off,
Right?
What?
a while back, and where he like ended up like leading it. One of the people that he was guiding, one of the groups he was guiding, like ended up all dying because it was it's kind of a tragedy. Anyway, but like, yeah, he's at the top of the list for all of like Oregon Trail. So
Yep.
if you ever play Oregon Trail, he's the #1 up there, and people constantly are sending me messages like, "Are you really good at Oregon Trail?" And
Just
I'm not going to explain to you. Yes, I am. Really good.
exactly. Just say yeah.
Yeah.
Search my name on Google, bitch. It'll come up. There it is.
That's me. So yeah, as soon as I can like oust him from the top of the Google search results, that's like
Ooh, that's ambitious.
life. Then I'll know I've arrived. Yeah.
That's the best. You know what? I can't thank. Well, I'm speaking for Bryce this time.
This time you are.
Yes. I can't thank you all for so much for joining us on this cast, because you guys are so much fun. Your movie is so much fun. I promise we'll be pushing it as much as possible on social media because we truly both enjoyed it. Actually, all three of us did. Our third party, Murray, can't usually make these type of events because he's working on film sets. Seems like 24 hours a day now. We see him for 5 minutes. So, yeah, but thank you. Is there anything you want to put out there that you haven't said yet, either about anything, new projects, anything, or maybe you want to talk about your social media?
Ooh.
No,
None of us are great about social media.
no,
I kind of got off social media during the pandemic, and it's helped me focus on my creative stuff quite a bit more. But if I was just going to add anything, it would just be thank you so much. Genuinely means so much to us that you enjoyed the film and that you asked us on in the first place. And I feel like having these conversations really makes me feel like I found my people in many ways, and you guys are our people, and thank you.
No,
Yeah.
we are definitely your people. I can tell you that. I can't wait to see, and I have to go back and watch all your old content on YouTube because
I have to watch all of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure, got a list for you.
nice. Send me a list. Awesome. Well, I guess that brings us to the end. Bryce, do you want to add anything?
No, thanks a lot, guys. It was a true pleasure having you on.
Thank
So
you.
nice to meet you
Likewise.
both.
So much. Nice to meet you guys.
All right. Well, thanks, Ragers, for listening. And thanks for our guests. We can't thank you enough. You can't find them on social media. You can only find them in the movie Recovery. So make sure you go out there and check it out. Check out everything Film Rage at filmrageyyc.com, including our merch site for Redbubble and TeePublic. See what we look like on our YouTube channel by searching Film Rage Podcast. We are always wanting to make this a raging blast for all listeners, so please comment, like, and subscribe. Send an email to us for whatever reason, maybe about your best content you want us to see, at filmragecalgary@gmail.com. Dare us to see terrible movies to fuel our rage. But no matter what you do, please make us rage. That's it for this episode. Rage on, everyone.
Rage on.
Oh, woo woo.